became far more popular there.
So it's green.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's definitely American.
Yeah.
Good.
Like you can argue that, oh well, the Greeks threw some like garlic and onions on top of some bread,
Right.
and it was pizza. But I mean, pizza as we know it was invented in America. America.
No, it wasn't at all.
My grandparents never ate pizza. When they came over from Italy, so.
They never had pizza.
They have better food.
I don't think I never remember seeing pizza at my grandmother's house. We had spaghetti. It had bones, but we had spaghetti.
Also, a little bit more news. The rubber banding scroll effect that Apple has a patent on got overturned. So Samsung had just recently paid $1 billion to Apple for it. A couple of things, including that, and that patent got invalidated. So some of that billion is going back, and
So,
I don't know if that was the only.
Wait, Apple's paid that $1 billion back?
Okay, here you go. I'm sure they'll have to pay some.
Because I didn't realize Samsung hadn't even finished paying it.
Oh, well, I don't know. Natalia.
First to add cheese.
so I was originally right.
Oh my.
Let's just give you half a point. Call it done.
0 points.
Are we expecting anyone else?
Dr. Allen is having to take care of a flooded home.
Ooh.
So, well, the flooding happened last weekend. He's now to the insurance space.
James is a little sick right now, so. No. Third lane.
You couldn't wait 25 minutes for pizza, so never back to his house to eat. Okay.
So today we're going to give a brief introduction to Google Maps and using it inside of web pages. So the first question is, what is Google Maps? I hope none of you have this question. It's everywhere. But for those of you that do, it's an API for displaying maps and locations and other things as well, like regions or paths, that kind of stuff. And we compared them, and Google Maps are significantly better than Bing Maps. Maps.
Or Apple Maps.
Yeah.
That goes without saying.
My map with the globe from before the fall of the Cold War is better than Apple Maps. I mean, before the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Okay, so how do we use Google Maps? You can embed it in a web page, you can embed it in an app, or even in a program. It's really powerful, and they have lots of extensions for their APIs so that you can use it literally anywhere. And Google Maps is primarily used so that you can find places, get directions to places, and traffic reports to. So if you are planning a trip, not while you are driving, you will be able to know. You will be able to know if you are taking the optimal route. And now I'm going to go over a quick introduction to using Google Maps in a web page. So we are going to do this in Notepad++, so that we can basically, all of us can build a Google Map web page. this part is important. You need to your style equals width, height equals 100%. You need that because the Google Map won't, the web browser will not think that it takes up any height unless you tell it to. And I think that that's right. It's probably wrong. The head section for our actual scripts. JavaScript. To hold our Google Maps, we're going to create a div in the body section. And we're going
Is that an end script? The second script tag, should that be an end script?
yeah, that should be in the script. Thank you for catching that. And let's say this map. Yeah, sorry.
But saving it means that we get syntax help.
Yeah. Text markup language. And for those of you who have not used Google Maps before, I'm following the webpage, the tutorial at developers. It's terrible.
I'll put this link up on our website.
Slash maps. So this is basically what we're going to implement.
Where did you find that?
I found this on the examples under code samples.
Where'd you find the source code?
The source code, I just click map simple and I pressed Control U. If you're using Google Chrome, that will show you the source of the web page you're viewing. So we're basically following this tutorial. And hopefully we'll go a little bit more in depth in this, like responding to events so that we can actually have the user be able to add their own points to the map. Yeah, I got this one. This should be we also need to include the Google Maps script because that will actually provide us with the entire API for our Google Maps application. That way we can include maps in our web page. PS and the Google APIs. And the sensor equals false is a parameter which we can actually change to let Google know if we're doing something like GPS tracking with our map. So in most cases that will be false, but some cases it can be useful. So if we open this in a web browser, file.
So I've got this file on the link up on our website.
Yeah, it is. Here is our actual current web page that we're working on. And currently, if we look at it, it's just a blank page.
Oh, good. Did you go back to your
Yeah. Still need to actually create our map since all we've done is included the API source and set the style necessary in the web page. Before we actually create our map, I'm going to give a quick crash course in JavaScript. JavaScript is an extremely simple language. Does everyone have this? It's a very simple language. We can define variables like, say, var with the keyword var. And say var blue and semicolon blue equals, and we can create a string blah. It's really simple. Everything in JavaScript is, well, almost everything in JavaScript is an object. It's like a string is an object. If we define a function, we use the keyword function. So, var function bark is also an object. So JavaScript is really powerful, and it has some problems, obviously, because it's a little too simple, because it's hard to structure. But for small applications like this, it does a good job. So now we're actually going to go and create our map. So we're going to create a global map object. I typically call it Gmap or Google Maps. And we need to create. And then once the document has loaded, we actually need to create the Google map. So now the Google map is created with the Google Maps API by calling new google.maps.map. And then we actually pass it the element that we want to use. Want to store the map in, but we also need to pass it a options object, which will tell it what options are necessary for the Google map to display correctly. So to create the options object, we can create an object like this. And we can define some fields in the object. And the Google Maps, for starting off, we're going to say center is the current is. We're going to give it a default latitude and longitude to start at. And the tutorial I'm using uses the coordinates negative 34.397 and 150.644. But we need this to be a Google Maps lat long object. So new google.maps.lat long object. And that should be the only required parameter of the options object. So, and now we need to actually get the element that we're going to use, and from HTML we can use the document.get element by ID and pass it Gmap. So that will create the map if everything is correct. And it does not.
Okay, and I've been posting, I keep posting the updated map, HTML up to today's thing, so if you get behind, it should be up there.
What does that say? What's what?
Art. That's
That is
just Google search GDG Mercer. Yeah.
that web page will have it all. Where under?
So go to meetings archive, and there should be the link for today.
So meetings archive. Google Maps.
Pretty weird.
I don't know why it did that.
Yeah, Google Maps and JavaScript right there, the link to the site.
Yeah. So
And
this
then
has all
There's
of
5 revisions on that map.html as it keeps.
So
For
this is the current stuff that we've got. So we have a problem that the map is not showing correctly currently. And that's because we never called create map. Unload equals create map. Now here we are actually using the DOM of HTML to actually call JavaScript once the body section or the Gmap section has been loaded by the browser. So we save that, and it doesn't follow script. So let's see. We use big pig. We use the they probably got it. Syntax. Yeah. No.
the link I found on the internet says you need a key in your source. For the first script.
We don't really need a key. So what are we doing wrong? Well, instead of doing the unload, we can actually do something a little bit cooler, I think. We use the Google Maps API to call the create map function once it's actually loaded. So we pass in the create map function. What is window? Window is this time it actually went through the steps of creating the map, but it didn't display it. We need the style option in our div as well. I forgot about that.
Hey, Michael. In front of the coordinates, is that LATING or LNG?
LNG.
LNG. Wow.
Latitude, longitude.
Okay.
So still not quite there.
What part did you add?
I added the style height 100%.
Last time, maybe it wasn't the last time.
It might be because I was here. I don't know how many slides did I eat.
There. Oh, there.
Oh, dude. No, I think there's only a few.
So
I probably got
let's
it.
see.
Yeah.
It almost has the right scriptures. So
Michael, do you want to talk a little bit about how you're debugging this?
yeah, I'm using the Google Chrome web developer tool, and you can access the tools with visual.
You can just do F12 or turn something on. Yeah, F12. Control shift back.
Apparently it looks like what it does. So
Control shift.
Okay.
Or you can do F12. And if you look at the code, you'll see if you go to sources, you can open up math.html or whatever you actually call your web page. And then you can view your code and you can add breakpoints to make sure that it's going to the correct functions. And when you press Control R or F5, it will actually go to the breakpoint. You can use it like a real debugger. Wait a minute. Did I do? Equals, but it's still not working. So I set the height to 100%. No.
Is there a way we can put a breakpoint in the section of code that we wrote, our JavaScript?
Yeah, you just go to your code and you click on the left margin, and that will create a breakpoint, and you can press the, yeah, you can press F2, and that will walk through the code when it stops at that.
I think I've got it.
Found it?
Well,
Does it have something?
no, I know it works for mine, and I got a mistake in the add DOM listener.
Okay.
And you don't have the same mistake I did.
So I've got one somewhere.
I'm looking at an example that had, the body has an onload element that calls a function called initialize that was something to that.
It's calling the initialize function, it's just not creating the map. Certain
Yeah, I use the alert way too often to see if things are getting called.
yeah, alert is also a way you could do. You could make sure that the functions. And you can do that in the create map function. And at the very beginning, you can call alert. Say create map.
Okay. You need padding.
I need padding. That's interesting. So padding. Set.
Margin at 0. I have a margin of 0 and a padding of 0 on the style.
Okay. So an alternative way of doing the style, which is actually a lot cleaner than this. And I usually prefer it. Is you can actually have the style sheet in the head section. Style.
Oh, but this is how people program. You're doing apprenticeships.
And HTML. Just define the style for the HTML.
That's the only thing. It sucks if you don't know how to do it.
0, yeah, and then margin 0.
Yeah, margin.
I'm not sure which of the two is the magic number.
Yeah, so body and Gmail. Web development, lots of magic. So I actually run this.
Okay, maybe it will work.
It calls the function and it will show me the alert, create map, but no map.
But no map.
So I guess the lesson for this is that I am not a web developer. Nor do I want to be.
Can you scroll down a little?
Huh?
Can you just scroll down a little?
Yeah.
Your get element by ID, you have map canvas.
Yeah. Copy and paste. And there we go. That fixes it. And it will place us on Wollongong,
Australia.
Australia.
So two values put in for latitude and longitude are where it defaults to on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I change my latitude,
You want the building's latitude and longitude?
yeah, what is
32.830594.
32?
Positive.
Yeah, that's important.
Yes.
830.
594. And then negative 83. 648146.
So if we do this again, and reload our page, it places us at Macon. And if I had been zooming in the exact center, then it would put us at Mercer. So let's change the zoom value for the options. And there we are. Computer science.
Does Google have all those maps or all the buildings labeled? Just like that?
Yeah, all of them.
Can you go back to your code?
Yeah. So
It's cool. Yeah. They do the most part of it can on Yeah. Great product placement.
And because we asked, they put the football field in.
Wasn't last week the computer science building was on the map? The building was there, they just meant the label.
I didn't
So
realize.
we created a map for Google Maps.
Yeah, last week they did maps. So yeah, it was last week when they looked it up.
So we use the more powerful method of embedding our map in our web page because we want to do stuff with our maps. We want to be able to build applications centered around our maps.
Can you go back to that one more time? Or
Yeah. But there is an easier method for embedding the map in the web page where you just actually use the embedded tag for HTML. Well, you use the iframe tag, sorry. And that will embed it in the web page. If you just link to the map and the latitude and longitude that you want to use. So once we, but now we want to actually do stuff with our map. The Google Map is a pretty powerful object. We can add events to the Google Map. Google Maps event add listen. So here we're going to create the event listener for if the user clicks on the web page. We're going to actually give it a function which you can call. Let's call it click. Map. And define our function. Map. And say alert. And the function will actually take an event, will take a parameter. So if we run it as is, and we click on the computer science building, it just tells us that we clicked on the map. But if we want to actually be dynamic, we can actually tell it to take a parameter which will tell us about the event. And the event.lat long will actually tell us where the map was clicked at. So if we do alert event.lat long dot event.long dot lat no. Let's see. Yeah, that works. So if we just tell it to alert us where it was clicked, and we press here, it will tell us the latitude and longitude that the map was clicked at. Now, this is all fun and good, but the users aren't really interested in where they're clicking. They're interested in us actually doing stuff where they clicked. So we can create a marker for creating the marker. We need an another options object, and we'll tell it the map is Gmap, and the position is event dot lat long, and then marker equals G. Yeah, I know. Gmap dot. No. Google dot marker. Google dot maps. Maps dot. Marker. And we just pass it an options object. That didn't quite good. Marker. Google dot maps dot marker. Pass it the options, but we also need to pass it. The position on Google dot maps dot marker. So back to the debugger. Yeah, there we go. Something was wrong with my object creation. So if we click on the computer science building now, it will create a marker at the computer science building after telling us the location. Let's see. Now, we can do other stuff with our marker as well. Do let's say we got a marker count equals 0. Let's make this a little interesting. So marker count plus equals 1. Marker dot marker. Google has a way of doing this, so this is a bad way of doing this. Marker count. And then let's create our marker click function. Event will be able to tell us about the marker that we
Yeah.
Java API for Google Maps. 'Cause that would be really cool, I think. Are there any questions?
You should upload this code to the website.
Yeah, I know, I stopped uploading at a certain point.
Yeah.
But, Michael, can you upload that code currently up to the web page?
I will see. I gotta go.
Okay. So next week is Code for America?
No, they were supposed to be here this week, and in fact, they're in front of the
Oh, yeah.
city
Yeah.
council right now, or
So
they
next
had
week-
just.
I'm going to ask Stephen Finney if he could do his Code for America presentation.
You know,
Because I asked him last week if he could, and he said that that would be fine. So I'll ask him if he can do that this coming week.
because, you know, the summer of code is something anybody here could, well, not me, I'm too old, but y'all could do.
See, I'll do what I'll put the stuff in.
Bring it over this week. Go to JavaScript maps on the left right there. I have it underneath meetings archive. Okay, tree structure. It should, if it's named the same thing, it should just add a revision. Here we go, version 9.
Right, so the code that we were working is on our webpage, GDG Mercer U.
Do we have a resources page? Jeez, I didn't see one.
What kind of resources?
Just the resources page.
Developers.google.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, it's good. I was just wondering. It was just a question.
I don't think so. No good. This is not.
We'd probably put a thing where you could put, it'd be cool to put something in like a resources page and like search for something. I don't know, so you type something in the box and it does a let me Google that for you. And it goes and searches for you.